Guys, I've seen people qualify for free health insurance. I mean, a husband, a wife, 3 kids, you do their income, where they live, you know, they make less than $70,000 a year. I'm just throwing that number out there. And all of a sudden, boom, the government says, hey, you can get $1,500 as a government subsidy every single month that you can apply towards health insurance. And then when you look at major medical plans from Cigna, from Aetna, from Molina, from Oscar, from Bright Health, from Blue Cross Blue Shield, whatever, you look at those quotes and you're like, man, these health insurance quotes are like $1,200–1,300, but I get a $1,500 subsidy. What does that mean? That means it's free insurance. $0 a person pays. Here's what's great about it. Someone who's looking for insurance already has spoken to their spouse about a particular budget. They've already talked to their family about a particular budget. That budget could be used for ancillary sales, extra sales like dental insurance, vision insurance, hospital indemnity plan, term life insurance, accidental death benefit insurance, living benefits that we happen to sell. And all of those products pay you at a pretty high level. So I'm going to take today's training and I'm going to actually show you how I would actually do it. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask some of you guys. I'd like for some of you that don't have health insurance, if you're willing to unmute yourself and say, hey, Tony, I don't have health insurance, run a quote on me, tell me what the government would qualify me for as far as a government subsidy. And then from there, we'll just role play this bad boy. Let me see here. Tanisha says, so the government actually sends a check, direct deposit to the people? No. What happens is you get put in, the application gets sent to the government through healthcare.gov. And what happens is they just reduce the monthly premium of the health insurance. So if the health insurance company is expecting to receive $1,500 a month, right? But you get a $1,300 subsidy, the government's going to send them directly $1,300, and then you got to pay your $200, right? So you're never going to physically see the cash. You're just going to see the reduction of the payment. Okay. At the end of the year, just so you guys know, at the end of the year, when you do your taxes, you're going to get a tax form showing how much subsidy you received. And the taxes that you report needs to be within limits of what you claimed you were going to make. Does that make sense? So you got to try to get as much of the honest income that the person is reporting as possible. There are certain things that automatically disqualify you from it. Here's a couple of them. Number one, if the employer that they're working for offers health insurance, it's an automatic decline. Number two, if husbands and wives are paying taxes separately, you gotta pay taxes joint together. They have to pay it that way. Number two. Number three, if you make too much income, if you make too much money, the government says, nah, man, you make enough money. There's no need for subsidy. Go buy your own, go pay full price for insurance, or purchase a short-term medical plan, which we're going to talk about that a little bit today as well too. So rather than continuing to talk about it, what I want to do is I want to dig right into it. I want to dig right into it because this is a huge opportunity for people to market on social media, talk to all your friends and family. Heck, guess what's one of the new changes that they made this year for this this subsidy program, which, by the way, this subsidy program is called the Affordable Care Act, the ACA program. One of the changes that they made is that if you are unemployed, okay, you can qualify for this. Back then, before COVID-19, if you were unemployed, the only thing you can apply for was Medicaid because you had zero income coming in. So in order to get the Affordable Care Act, you needed to be within a number. You needed to make this much minimum, but you couldn't surpass this much maximum. Now they changed it. Now they said, hey, if you're unemployed as a result of COVID, guess what? You qualify for this subsidy as well too, right? I see some questions popping up. Let me answer them real quickly here. Husband and wife have to pay taxes joint, the past or the next tax season, the tax season that you're filing it for. So for example, right now we're doing insurance for January 1st, 2022, which means when you pay taxes for 2022, it's got to be joint filed together, not separate. Does that make sense? What if one person has access to health insurance through their work, but the spouse does not, then they can't do it. Rob, correct me if I'm wrong with that, but if husband and wife, one of them has employee benefits, health insurance through their employer, then they're both automatically declined from being able to get the government program, because remember, they got to do it together anyways, if I'm not mistaken, and they've got to answer that question. True or not true, Rob?
So with that one, if you add the family onto the plan and it becomes more than 8.5% of your annual income, then and yes, you can get insurance on for the rest of the family that's not on the coverage for the person that's working for that company.
I like
Does that
that.
make sense?
Yeah, so let me explain that. If the employer plan that they're offering doesn't offer that huge of a discount where the employer says, hey, we're not going to pay a big portion of their deductible, we're just going to offer insurance. And that dollar amount multiplied by 12, monthly times 12 is more than 8.5% of the salary, the income coming in to the household. If it's more, then you can apply for the government subsidy and get everybody except for the person that's employed covered under the ACA program. Does that make sense what I just explained?
Yeah, like they're still counted as the, inside the household, but they're just not on the insurance.
I like that. So you can exclude people from it. Cool.
Right.
All right, good. Guys, I'll tell you this for sure. I'm decent in this world. I definitely know how to cross-sell, how to upsell it. But the best at this is Rob Raw. So don't be afraid to reach out to him, set up a joint meeting with him. Let him show you how to, number one, sell the insurance, but then number two, how to cross-sell and get into other spaces. Second person I would be leaning towards heavily is Howard Rabinowitz. He's your other guy that you want to heavily lean on. You want to lean towards Rob, number one, for anything Medicare related, so 65 plus. But in the same token for health insurance, he's another person that you can reach out to for cross-selling opportunities. And if you're not health licensed, you should still be talking about this, because we have people on standby that'll be able to take care of the health side of the business and still let you participate in the life side of the business, the long-term, the living benefit side of the business, and all that other ancillary stuff that pays big money. The ancillaries, believe it or not, pay more than the health insurance does. The health insurance will pay you 15, 20 bucks a month, right, per member. So, I mean, it's decent, right? You get a husband, a wife, and 3 kids. That's 5 members. That's 20 bucks a head. That's 100 bucks a month residual every month you're making. But let's be real. The life insurance is going to pay you at a 90, 100, 110% contract. So when you get $1,000 of annual premium, you get 900 bucks up front. Which one do you want more? The 100 bucks a month or the 900 up front? We typically want the big number up front. So ancillaries are huge. So just because you're not health licensed doesn't mean you shouldn't be talking about this. You just can't run quotes. You can't sell the product. You got to find a health agent, link up with him, let them take care of the health side. And then on the life side, you work it together. Does that make sense? Okay. Here's what I like to do, because I know we can go into this for a lot of reasons and we can get 1,000 questions going. I really want to get a scenario going. So here's what I want to know. I'd like to know if you're willing to unmute yourself. If you don't have any health insurance, but you want to see what this program would do for you and your family, feel free to unmute yourself and let's have that conversation. And I'll kind of show you what I would essentially do in that type of a meeting. All right, let me see here. Lucia said here. Okay, perfect. So we're going to have a real conversation, Lucia. I mean, just very black and white, the real McCoy. There we go. So let's just say I posted something on social media and Lucia says, hey, I want health insurance, right? So here's my first set of questions, right? I want to do a demographic on her. Lucia, tell me your situation. Tell me, obviously, I'm going to skip the whole building report part. I'm going to skip that piece, okay? I'm going to jump right into it. Lucia, tell me how many people you're looking to get coverage on.
Health, dental, and vision. I mean, vision is pretty cheap, so yeah, the 3.
Okay. So looking for health, dental, and vision. And how many people do you want to insure? You and someone else, or you by yourself? Who are we trying to insure?
Myself.
Yourself. Okay.
I mean, my daughter is already insured by her dad, but
Okay.
I mean, do they actually a question? Do they double insure a 6-year-old or primary, secondary, or not really?
Well, let
I
me
mean,
ask
she
you
used
this.
to be double insured.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this question. Who claims your daughter on taxes, you or your ex-husband?
Every other year.
Every other year you rotate. Okay, so
But but basically he only gets the child credit, but I am the one that gets the benefits because I make less income,
Okay.
and she lives with me.
I get it, but for 2022 taxes, when you file,
He
they're
will.
gonna want to see how many. Who's claiming your daughter in 2022?
He will.
He will. So 2021, which is this year, is your year. He gets next year. Okay. So for that year, it's just gonna be you that we're covering. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And Rob, if I'm incorrect about any of this stuff, feel free to unmute it and correct me. I have no problem with that.
I got you.
Okay. So Health Sherpa is the website that lets you run quotes and take applications with every single carrier that we sell within the Affordable Care Act program. Okay. Now let's jump right into this bad boy here. Let me see here. Let me move this. Here we go. So we're going to do on the exchange, which means we're inside of an enrollment period. Okay. Quote on the exchange. Here we go. All right, Lucia, give me your zip code.
60504.
0504. Gotcha. You're in DuPage County.
Yes.
And how old are you?
31
Give me your date of birth.
2890.
2/8/1990.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, just so you know, I'm writing these dates down on a scratch pad as well too.
You
Female.
want to write it or no?
Are you a tobacco user, Lucia?
No.
Okay. You are a parent of a child under 19.
Yes.
Are you pregnant?
No.
Okay. Are you eligible for coverage anywhere else right now, like an employer offering you coverage?
No.
Okay. Has gotten or is approved for unemployment income in 2021?
As what? Let me see.
Have you gotten or have you been approved for
yes.
unemployment income 2021? Yes. Okay. Only add people to this list who are applying for coverage. For any household member who is not applying, you need to include them in the household. You only need to include them in the household member count. I understand. Okay. So, Rob, tell me if I'm right or wrong here. I would actually put only one because she's only claiming one in 2022, correct?
Right.
Okay. So we don't need to add the child. So do I uncheck this part or do I keep that checked?
No, keep it checked.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Lucia, annual household income for next year. What is your prediction in reference to that number? What do you think it's going to be?
See, I was 45 until July, so half of them. Oh my
Okay.
God, maybe less than 30.
Okay. You want to try to be as accurate as you can, but let me tell you why.
Probably 30. Let's just do 30.
Okay. So we'll do 30,000. So at 30,000, you get a $263 per month reduction. Let me ask you a question. If you had to come up with a budget for dental, health, vision, insurance, how much is your monthly budget allow you to spend?
$80.
80 a month is your limit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
60 to 80.
Okay. So currently right now you're at $263 a month in tax credit, right? And you're also going to get what's called a cost sharing reduction. This means an added discount on silver plans. And we'll talk about that right now. Okay. So let's go right into it here. Lucia, are there any particular doctors that you absolutely, no matter what, beyond a reasonable doubt, have to have in your insurance?
I only see my primary. I'd rather have the other ones, but those are not included.
Well, my question is this. Well, no, because major medical will count others. So is there a doctor that you're like, I have to go to this doctor, no matter what, whatever insurance I get, this doctor has to accept it. Is there a doctor in mind?
No, I've been
Okay.
with primary for 7 years, but I don't really care as long as it's a good.
So you're flexible. You're flexible to other doctors. Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
Are you taking any prescriptions on a monthly basis that you have to take? No.
No.
Okay, so you're flexible on that. Okay. So I'm going to do the following. Is it silver plans? Am I right with that, Rob? It's silver plans that are cost sharing? Rob? I believe so.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check on silver plans, but I'm also going to check bronze. You know how like the Olympics, right? There's bronze, silver, gold, right? is kind of letting you know basic, intermediate, and and much more benefit type plans, right? So I'm going to check off silver because that's cost sharing reduction, right? Those silver plans are going to get an automatic additional discount. I'm going to check off bronze as well too because I want to see what the lower category is. Okay, now let's take a look here as well too. You also want to take a look at the companies that you're contracted with, right? So for those of you that are working inside of TKO's health platform, we are focusing primarily on everyone but Blue Cross. Blue Cross happens to be a captive organization in Florida, and I'm not exactly sure if they take it on in certain, they do take it in certain states, but I'm not 100% certain on Illinois. So if you end up selling a company that you're not contracted with, you won't make a monthly residual income from that. You'll submit the application, you'll do all the legwork. They might give you a referral fee, like a one-time $25, $50, or $75 commission, but they're not going to give you, that's not your client because you don't have a writing number towards that, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check off the companies that I know for sure I can sell. United Healthcare, Oscar, Molina, Cigna, Bright Health. I'm just going to check those off, right? So now let's take a look here. Remember, currently you got a $263 credit. This plan right here, let me see if I can zoom in. United Healthcare is $306, but because of the tax credit, the client only spends $43 a month. You get it? It automatically reduces it based on the dollar amount that you qualify for. So let's take a look at this plan real quick. This is a $43 a month plan. It's an HMO, okay, which an HMO just means that you have to be referred. You're going to be assigned a primary care physician, and you got to be referred by that physician to go see a specialist. You can't just go on your own, right? One of the questions I'm always going to ask is to the client is Mr. Client, Miss Client, right? So Lucia, do you have a preference to HMO, PPO, EPO? Talk to me about that. What do you know about that?
No, because I don't really go out of town where I need a out network.
Okay. Okay, so she doesn't have a preference. If she had a preference, I'd look for that preference. So we got $43 a month, $8,700 deductible. Doctor's visits are $0 after the deductible. Specialists are $0 after the deductible. Generic drugs are free. I don't like this plan. Why? Because she's got to pay $8,700 before she gets any benefit from the insurance. That's just me particularly. Let's look at a couple other ones. $58 a month from Cigna, but it's the same thing. $8,700 she has to spend first as a deductible before she gets any benefits whatsoever. I don't like that plan either. Let's go up here. Here it starts to get a little better. Look, $72 a month, a much smaller deductible, $2,000 a year. But look, she's already getting from the very beginning a doctor's visit benefit of $15 per visit without having to pay this $2,000 first. If she goes to a specialist, she does, however, have to pay the deductible first. Once she's done that, the insurance company will pay 40%, and she'll pay the other 60%. But at least here, she's getting generic drugs for $15 a month, and she can go see her doctor for $15 a month and not have to worry about paying this deductible. Does that make sense what I just explained? Okay, I'm going to check this one off. Let's look at this one, Bright Health. $82 a month, so it's a little bit more money. $3,800 a year, but look, free doctor's visits, specialists are $70, and generic drugs are free. She can get all of these benefits without ever having even paid this deductible. Lucia, let me ask you a question. Do you see the doctors often?
Probably once a year or twice.
For a routine?
Yeah, physical, and maybe if I'm really like a super bad cold.
Gotcha. Do you have any need for a specialist of any kind?
No.
Okay. I'm going to check this one off as well too. Let's take a look at a couple others before we decide on what we want to present to the client. This one here is $84, big deductible, nothing gets covered, don't like it. This one's a $3,000 deductible. And she does get free doctor's visits, free $60 specialist, free prescription drugs, but it's very similar already to the one we have up above. So I wouldn't check this one off. Let me see here. Here's a good one too. Look at this one, 90 bucks a month, zero deductible. Zero deductible, that's a good number. $25 doctor's visits, $75 specialist visits, $25 prescription drugs, right? But if she goes to the hospital or she goes and does other procedures, she will have $6,800 that she has to cover, okay, before the insurance company covers 100% of everything. Okay, so the thing you need to understand about health insurance, Lucia, is this monthly premium, you have to pay it whether you go to the doctors or you don't. If you go see a doctor, you'll pay as a copay 25 bucks if it's a general doctor, or 75 if it's a specialist. But if there's procedures you got to get done, those procedures all have their own individual cost. If you got to go to the hospital for a procedure, that has its own individual cost, right? Now, your cost is $6,800 will be the max you have to pay. And this is this an 80-20? What is this? Let me see here. Is it 60-40? Is that right? Am I looking at that right, Rob? Labs, hospitals, here we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say keep scrolling down and it should be able to tell you, but I mean it looks like it's 60-40. Most silver plans are 80-20.
That's what I thought. So what an 80-20 is, guys, just so you know, is that the insurance company pays 80%, you pay 20%. And then when your 20% hits that $6,800 number, then the insurance company pays 100%. If it's a 60-40, the insurance company pays 60, you pay 40. When that 40% adds up to $6,800, which is your max out of pocket of this plan, then the insurance company pays 100%. Does that make sense? Okay, this is not a bad plan actually either.
No, because she's got copays for everything.
Yeah, I see that. Everything's a copay. X-rays, right? 100 bucks. Imaging, 700, blood work, 50. Here's what I like about this plan. For someone healthy, you're not spending a lot of money and you don't have this massive deductible to come up with. All you gotta do is come up with these little copays right here if you gotta go do something. What's something I would sell on top of this? A hospital indemnity plan. Because a hospital indemnity plan gives you cash to cover all of these little itty bitty costs. Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Okay. So
Tony, real quick, can you go
Yes, sir.
back? Can you click on that the policy or whatever policy?
Yeah, it was this one right here, 90, this one right here. Let me click it here to compare.
Just click plan details. Yeah, click plan details. Now scroll down a little, say summary of benefits, official documents.
This one?
Yep. That's if you copy and paste that and send it to an email, that's like official. Everybody and anybody can open it up. If somebody's adamant about emails, but if you scroll a little bit more to the bottom, it'll normally give you 3 examples. Keep going. Keep going. There we go.
Go ahead and explain that, Rob.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory as far as the 3 different types of examples of what you would expect as far as out-of-pocket costs for each type of situation, right? So if someone's having a baby, if you look at the bottom, total example cost would be $12,700, but because of everything else on the policy, remember how we said everything is copays? All you're paying is $1,500 in copays for everything. And then so diabetes, the end of the year is paying $1,600 for the whole year. So I can't see the other one. I'll have to move, but
it's $1,400.
Okay, yeah.
Gotcha. I like that. You saw what he just did there though? Let me show you this piece that he just explained. You could take this hyperlink right here, right click it, copy it, and then email it to them. And they can open up that hyperlink and see this PDF explanation of benefits. It's pretty cool. It's pretty good, right? So here's, I'm going to speed up a little bit here. Let's say, we have the conversation with the client. Notice I checked off compare. right? You can look at all three comparisons right here by hitting compare all three plans. You do a side by side. Whichever one the client decides to do, right? You just got to add it to the cart and apply and begin the application process. Health Sherpa communicates with healthcare.gov, right? And it'll ask you a lot of questions about their income, you know, dependents, citizenship status, all their stuff there that's asked. I would not be answering anything that is an optional, because that's just for the government census, right? That's just them collecting data. You know, I wouldn't go as far as with all of that, but here's how you can apply it. Now, let me show you how I would upsell this, right? I would then go to a couple things. I would lean on a dental and a vision plan through Emeritus. Look how simple it is to run a quote with Emeritus. What is this? Oh, that's right. Hang on. That's my back office. Let me apply dental and vision. Here we go. So when you're contracted with Emeritus, you get one of these landing pages that you can send to a client and they can apply on their own. Lucia, give me your zip code again.
60504.
So let's say we've already had a health conversation with her. She's decided on one of the three, which is all roughly between 60 to 80 bucks. Do we need, and now you're going to try to upsell dental. Here's dental, here's vision. We're covering, does your daughter have insurance, Lucia?
Yes.
Okay, so this is just for you, one person.
I have bad dental insurance.
You have dental?
Well, yeah, she also has a dental, but it's a bad dental insurance.
Do you want to add her to a dental plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess my dentist was telling me that the health insurance for dental change where
Yeah, some policies
they
include it,
less.
some of them don't. The ones that we looked at, they don't include it.
Yeah, no, I guess she was saying that now the dental is charging more for whatever things. Because
Yeah.
before I used to not pay for certain things and now I do.
Oh, okay.
Like I guess
So-
that the deductible is more now.
It could be. I mean, there's always changes to it. This is what I would tell you about what's available for next year, right? So this is a dental plan for two. You've got a couple options, right? You've got 65 a month, 95 a month, 105 a month, right? 65 a month gives you a $50 deductible. Maximum amount that the insurance policy will pay per year is $750. You get 100% cost on preventative. You get 80% coverage on basic type 2 scenarios, 50% coverage on basic type 3. But remember, your maximum is $750. Okay. Click right here. Here's the details. Right. So what do they count as a type 1 type of issue? Preventative stuff. Type 2 issues are fillings, fluorides, sealants, right? Type 3 issues, which are major issues, right? Crowns, root canals, oral surgeries, so on and so forth. Okay. So this one would run you $65 a month. Let me ask you a question, Lucia, in regards to your teeth. Do you need to see the dentist for anything other than regular cleanings?
No, regular cleanings and cavities, that's it.
Okay. So I would lean you towards this plan right here, a basic $65 a month plan. It'll give you the coverage that you're looking for, as long as you don't have any major things that you have to do, right? There we go. Now, here's the next thing that I would look at. I'd look at a hospital indemnity plan. Hospital indemnity you can use is, let me see here, Heartland.
Before you go to do that, what was the difference from the single person versus two people for dental?
Yeah, that's right, because this plan is for two people. For one person, it's half the price.
Half.
32,
Got it.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what have I done? I've done a health quote. I've now done a dental and vision quote, right? Let me scroll here to a hospital indemnity plan. A hospital indemnity plan basically will help eat up those copays. That's what it does. It eats up the copay. So if you have to get X, Y, Z done, the hospital indemnity plan could essentially cover it. Let's look at one of those right now. Let me see if this is the website. No, that's not it. I was just working with these guys today. Agent portal.
Is that the same thing as Gap or no?
Kind of. Let's run an app real quick, a quote real quick. So you go right here to Secure Flex app. Number of participants 1. Lucia. Got your date of birth here is 2/8/1990. Desired amount. Let's do 200 a day of benefit. 31 days. State of Illinois. 2 applicants need to apply to qualify for that. Okay. All right. So here's what you got. You have a plan that for $12 a month, right, gives you $200 of daily benefit for anything that confines you to the hospital. For 31 days, you get $150 for an emergency room visit. Then we can add any of these things that they might believe is important to have. Like you mentioned dental. So I would include an additional $1,000 or $1,500 of coverage for dental. But the moment you add that in, it's $65 a month. Maybe, right, it's worth digging in deeper to seeing what this dental plan covers and not doing the Emeritus and just doing this one alone.
Does it
You see
straighten
what
my
I'm-
teeth?
What's that?
Does it straighten my teeth? Like perfect.
Right? So this one will give you $25 for wellness visits. So rather than having the copay that the health insurance is going to charge, right? The health insurance charges primary care $25. This will pay the $25. Ambulance visit $200. That's $1.20 for that, right? Ask questions. Lucia, do you have a family history of cancers? The answer is yes. You might want to get some of that coverage in place.
They're like ants.
Okay. Again, it's reading the client. Does a client see that as important or not important? Right. So let's do that. Let's do 10,000 of that. It's an extra $12 a month. So now you're at $81 a month for this plan. In my opinion, right? And again, I'm going a little bit faster than I normally would with a client. With a client, I'm really digging deep on the emotion. I'm digging deep on what's important to them, and then finding something to cater to. From a quick glance, I'm going to tell you, because we added dental here, right? This is $1,500 worth of dental. If you go to Emeritus, this is $750 of dental. I probably would not use Emeritus and just use Heartland. Right? So now you've got the health insurance, you've got this dental plan. I mean, you've got this dental and hospital indemnity. You're at $81 a month. And then the last thing that I go after, what is living benefits? You've got to sell a term life with living benefits. So here's what I do. I go to TKO Financial Network. I run a quick quote on mobile quick quotes. I'll tell you the company that I'm leveraging a lot this coming open enrollment season. It's either going to be Americo or Foresters. That's what I'm jumping on. Foresters has phenomenal living benefits, and they have accidental death benefit automatically included. So I'm going to go to Foresters to the Your Term plan. Non-medical, state of Illinois. Plug in her date of birth. 1990, 32, female. Let's do a simple 100,000. Get a quote. Look at this, 30-year plan, $24.86 a month, right? So let me show you kind of everything that we've done thus far, okay? This is $284 of annual premium. right? Let's go to the comp plan here real quick. So you can see what it looks like from an income standpoint. And I'm gonna base everything off of an associate's contract. So Foresters as an associate, you sell your term plan. That's a 75% contract. So Foresters, you got $284 in premiums annually, which is $24 a month, right? Write that down, 24 a month right now. 284 times 0.75 is a $213 commission. That's that one, right? You go next to Heartland, which is $81 a month. $81.50 a month times 12 is $978. And Heartland, I'll tell you right now, Illinois, Heartland pays a 45% comp, right? So $978 times 45%, that's another $440 in commissions, right? We've sold a Heartland plan, which covers hospital indemnity plus the dental plan, right? That's a $440 commission. We've sold a term life insurance policy that has living benefits, right? And remember, Foresters not only has the living benefits, but it also has the accidental death benefit. It also has all those member benefits that you want to talk about, like legal links and all of that stuff. That's a $200 commission. So we're at $650 in commissions right now. And then the health insurance policy, it's one member, it'll pay like $20 a month, right? Notice how the health insurance pays $20 a month. There's nothing very exciting about it, but the ancillaries that you sell can create a lot of that good income. We're talking $650 worth of commissions. How much is the client paying? It's a little bit over her budget right now, right? We're talking 72 for the health, plus 24 for the term life, plus $82 for the dental and the hospital indemnity. We're at $178 a month. It's not uncommon for you to run into a client when you ask them that question, what is your budget that you don't want to spend over on insurance? It's not uncommon for people to tell you $150 to $200 a month, right? So now watch this. Lucia, let me ask you, you gave me an $80 budget. I can get you health insurance for $80, but you won't have any dental, you won't have any vision, and you're gonna have to come out of pocket in co-pays for any time you need a procedure. Is that $80 willing to stretch? Because if you're willing to give me a little bit more, I can get you some other benefits that'll help eat away at some of those medical costs should you need it.
Yes.
Okay, well, give me a number that you'd be willing to stretch to, because I don't foresee a client going from 80 to 180, but maybe she'll go from 80 to 120.
I was gonna say 125 to 150.
There you go, 125 to 150. She gave me 150 now, guys. 150. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna probably reduce the Heartland plan a little bit, right? Let me share my screen and do that with you guys. As soon as I can get back to it. Let's reduce my hospital indemnity plan. 2/8/1990. Okay, select the state, Illinois. Select this desired amount. We did 200. I'll do 100 of benefit. Instead of for 31 days, we'll do for 20 days. Let's run the quote. We're at $6. The dental plan is the one that does it. Let's do 1,000 of dental. Now you got 41. So you got $24 for the term life insurance. You got $41, right? 20, let me write that down. 24 for the term life insurance with living benefits and accidental insurance. You got the 42 for the hospital indemnity. That's $66 a month plus the 75 for the health insurance. Now I'm at 141 a month. See how I stayed within realms of what she wanted to spend? I stayed within that realm. The reality is $70 a month here, right? Because $24 a month times 12 is 288 times a 75% contract. So that's there it is. There's the 216. The hospital indemnity is $42 a month times, I think it was a 45% contract. Yes, a 45% contract. So 4140 a month times 12, it's $500 in annual premium. Times a 45% contract is another $223. So you just made, if the client decides to buy this, right, $440 in commissions on 2 products that will approve like this. I mean, Foresters will approve in a day. Boom. Pays daily. Boom. The hospital, the Heartland plan, it'll approve like this. As long as there's nothing underlying in there. You just made $440 on a meeting that, I mean, granted, I've been training on this now for maybe 30, 40 minutes. Let's be real, right? Because we had some announcements in the beginning. It'll probably take you an hour and a half's worth of a meeting with a client for them to understand this full mechanism that you're selling them. And then on top of that, you're making $20 a month, every single month on the health side, And you gained a client, you gained a relationship. So next open enrollment, you get to sit back with that client, revisit their financial needs. If things have changed, you can resell some more insurance, some more term life insurance, maybe talk to them about IUL if they're making more money, right? You don't know what's changed. You can maybe she wants to add the next year, she wants to add her daughter back into it. So now there's more coverages that are there. But let's be real, an hour and a half to make $500, that's not bad. It's not five grand, but that's an hour, one client, hour and a half, one client. So now you find 5 to 7 clients every 2-3 days. Guys, you can easily make 10 to 15 grand a month. But this is not looking for whales. This is not, oh man, I'm going to find that $300 a month IUL and I'm going to make $3 grand on that one sale. No. This is, you're going to run into some whales. You're going to run into them. But this is quantity. This is adding 10, 15 people to your book of business like this. And guys, Foresters pays daily. You understand what I'm saying? Direct to carrier, daily, boom. Right? Heartland, I believe, pays twice a week. Boom. Renewals, boom. Heartland has renewals for 10 years. If don't get me wrong, every year you want to try to re-upsell. I got a good friend of mine on social media today, open enrollment, he did 72 sales today. 72. But guess what he doesn't do? He doesn't cross-sell the way we do. He doesn't sell life insurance, living benefits. He doesn't do that. He's just quick health sales. But here's the part about it. 80% of those was existing health clients that all he did was renew their plans. Just review their old plans and see if there's anything new. That's how crazy this is. I had a meeting today with Jennifer. And one of the conversations I had with this, and I'll have this with you guys as well too. 5 years into being in this business, 5 years, you'll make $150,000 a year just on taking care of your existing clients. 5 years alone. Because all you got to do is meet with your client twice a year. On their birthday, meet them, not trying to sell them anything. Just take them out to lunch, buy them a sandwich. How's everything going? How's life changed? How's your kids? How's this? They'll tell you how their life is going. And I guarantee you're going to find opportunities. You're going to find opportunity. Oh, I got into a relationship. He's an amazing guy. We're moving in together. Boom, new household. Let's talk about finances. Oh, we're having a baby. Boom, new household. Oh, I'm getting a divorce. So sorry to hear. New finances, time to review. Just through having that little lunch, they feel so special that somebody reached out to them and was willing to take them out to lunch. And if you're running a virtual business like I do, you know what I do? I'm not lying. I do this, guys. I send them an Uber Eats certificate. I ask them, what do they like? Oh, I like this. You know what I do? I send them Uber Eats. Hey, can we have a Zoom date Wednesday at 3 o'clock? I'm gonna send over some food your way that's going to be knocking on your door. And while you're eating, while I'm eating on a virtual camera, we're just going to catch up. I just want to celebrate your birthday with you. That camera face-to-face type of reaction, I promise you know what they're going to do? You got to talk to my sister. You got to talk to my mom. You got to talk to my uncle. You got to talk to this. You got to talk to that. You have the moral authority now to ask for referrals, and they have the moral authority to feel guilty if they say no to you because you just paid for their lunch. That's the power of a sandwich. No lie. That's the first time you meet with them and your birthdays. You know when's the next time you meet with them? 5 months after. 5 months after. Do you know why? Because you're giving them 1 month before they turn 6 months after their birthday, which is typically an age change for insurance. So you meet with them 5 months after, and you say, Mr. Client, on this, we're having your annual review. On your birthday, that was just birthday. That was just catch up. How's life? I'm not going to talk about your policies. I'm not going to bring them with me. I'm just going to learn about you and see if I find opportunities. That's the real reason you're doing it. But 5 months after their birthday, that's an annual review. You know what you're doing on an annual review? You're bringing with you the old fact finder. You're bringing with you a new fact finder, because you're going to look at the old numbers and see how they compare to the new numbers. You're going to look at the old dime analysis and compare to a new dime analysis, the old budget and compare to a new budget, the old retirement goals compared to a new retirement goal. You're going to bring with you copies of whatever you sold them. But if you sold them term life insurance, guess what you want to bring with you? Copies of some conversions. Mr. Klein, this term policy can convert into an IUL. Here's what it looks like, and it's guaranteed approved. But it's based on your current age right now. And you know what's going to happen next month? This age is going to change. That's why you meet them on the 5th month, because you want to give them 30 days to decide on the numbers you bring. You know what I do typically when I meet with a client that I know has dollars that they can invest? I don't do this for all clients, because if not, you're spending a lot of administrative time. But the clients that I know have dollars that they can invest, I'll show them what an IUL does at their current age, and then I'll run that same illustration with 1 year later. I'll tell them, I'll go, look, Mr. Client, Lucia, how old are you? You're 1990.
31.
31, right? So if I meet, let's just say this is the 5th month for you. I'm showing you a 31-year-old IUL and a 32-year-old IUL. Long term, you put some serious numbers into that, and I mean like 250, 300 a month type situation. Long term, it'll be a little bit of a difference in cash. It'll be like 20, 30 grand less in cash because you waited 1 year or waited 1 month. And I show that to the client. Mr. Client, you remember when you told me your retirement goal was to have $5,000 a month in income? Your current IUL, based on the illustrations ran, is going to give you, $1,500 a month. You know what that means? We need to convert some more of your term into more IUL so we can chip away at that $5,000 per month income goal. Statistically, you'll sell your clients 4 to 7 times in your career. But you know what's the one catch? What's the one thing you have to do? You have to be willing to meet with them on an annual basis and review their plans and see how things have changed. 5 years is the sweet spot. You know why? If you acquire 75 clients a year, that's the average full-time insurance agent, 75 to 100. Let's lowball it. 7,500 clients a year for 5 years. You have 375 clients in your book of business. I promise you, you'll have 10 to 15 meetings a month just on reviews. And you'll have 5 to 7 people every single month reaching out to you without you reaching out to them that'll want to buy. Not because you were in their face for the first sale, but because you meet with them every single year. You became someone of importance to them. You became someone that cares about their long-term goals. You're the only person. Their accountant doesn't talk about their retirement goals. Their accountant only talks about their tax savings now. You're the only person that talks to them about retirement. The only person that makes certain they're ready to go, for life insurance and for living benefits, which by the way, I'll tell you what's one amazing meeting you can have right now with every one of the clients you've ever sold life insurance to. Make sure they have a financial power of attorney in place. Because if they have living benefits in their life insurance and they end up in a coma, they can't file for their own living benefits. And the beneficiary is only a death benefit, not a living benefit. Living benefits for the person. If they're in a coma, they can't file their own living benefit claim. So they need a financial power of attorney. Wait a minute, do we have something like that? Oh, yes, we do. It's called the Kaizen Soulmate Packet. It's in there. It's a great reason to meet with a client and review their policies. Talk to them about the fact that we have someone right now in our own family, in our own TKO family, unexpectedly because of COVID, she was medically induced into a coma, and she cannot call and file her own living benefit claim, and she has the insurance in place because they need a financial power of attorney. So now the parents having to jump through hoops to get a court-ordered financial power of attorney, but that takes time and energy that they don't want to be investing into. They'd rather be at the daughter's bedside, checking on her every single day, because she's got 3 machines right now keeping her alive. 3, a ventilator, a dialysis machine, and an ECMO machine that filters her blood. You get what I'm saying? That's the whole point. But if you are not taking care of your book of business, you know how simple it is? It's this. A little book like this. Right? Green, right? Money green. 2 of them. 2 of them. One of them, pipeline. A second one, BOB, book of business. 12 divider tabs. You buy the little divider tabs at Office Max. And those 12 represent what? Every month. January, February, March, April, May, right? So when you open up a case, you put them in your pipeline on the month that you opened them. The month, like right now we're in November. So everybody's November pipeline should be, with a blank sheet of paper ready to fill up. Boom, 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 boom. Whatever notes you want, name, phone number, and what the person reached out to you for, what case you opened. But when they become a client, they go in the second book, right? The book of business book. You know what tab they go under? Their birth month. And all you got to do is write in that little book, right on their birth month, right? Like my birthday's in August. So hopefully I'm on my insurance agent's August tab. Tony Martinez, 239-784-1118, right? Policies with American National, policies with Allianz, policies with Americo, policies with the Mutual of Omaha. I'm not lying to you when I tell you I have policies with all 4 of those companies. Boom, 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 boom. You don't need to have any more info on there because the writing agent should be able to log into those carriers and pull up the policy information. That's all you need. August 18th, phone number, right? Maybe city and state if you're in a virtual business, right? You want to kind of know where your clientele is and what product. And then guess what? In August, bam, birthdays. And then you're going 5 months forward. So right now we're in November. 5 months forward is what? December, January, February, March, April. So this month, you should be pulling up November birthdays and April birthdays. November, it's November, happy birthday. Let's meet, right? Oh, but I'm virtual. Listen, I'm going to send you Uber Eats. We're going to schedule a meeting. We're going to see each other on Zoom. We're going to eat our sandwich together, right? April, ring, ring. I'm calling you. It's your annual review time. It's your annual review time. Let's look over your old policies, your new policies, and your goals. And I'm going to challenge you to meet your goals. Guys, you get so good at this. You get so good at this. You know how I used to prep my clients? I would tell them, I go, look, every year we should convert a quarter of your term insurance into IUL. Mr. Client, with your permission, I'd like to challenge you every single year to convert a quarter of your term insurance into more IUL and increase your savings by an additional $200 every month. Would you allow me to do that? Yes. You know how cool this works? Sometimes you call clients up and they're like, bro, Tony, listen, man, I'm super busy with working with this and with that, but I know it's our annual review time. Go ahead and convert over that quarter. Go ahead. I'm ready. $200 a month. No problem. Cool. No problem. Mr. Klein, let me ask you a question. Has anything changed from your first application? Have you renewed your driver's license, relocated, moved, changed your bank information? Anything medical? No, nothing at all. Everything is the same. Okay, perfect. In the next 24 hours, you'll see an application hit your inbox. Thank you. Have a good day. And you convert, boom, and you convert. But it's a whole new sale, guaranteed approved. Because conversion what? Protects insurability. Guaranteed approved, no medical underwriting. Boom. I'm talking about a day's worth of underwriting, approved. Boom, 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 every time. That's what your book of business does for you. Your first sale is the hardest sale. And what's crazy is it's not the biggest. It'll never be the biggest sale. But it's your hardest because you're selling 3 things. You, the product, the company. But every year after that, all you're doing is building how valuable it is to have you as their agent. They don't got to be reminded about the product or the company. They already bought into you. Done. And it starts with what I just trained on today, something as simple as, have you looked in to see if you can qualify for some free health insurance? Send me a DM. You might qualify, but do it before the deadline ends, December 15th. What are you talking about? What do you mean free health insurance? Well, listen, let's talk. Let's get on the phone. Block off an hour. Let's get on a phone call. Boom, 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 boom. Block off an hour. Let's get on a Zoom. Boom, 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 boom. And you just do what I just did. What's your zip code? How many kids? What's your income? Tobacco. Oh, look, you qualify for $400 a month in tax credit. Let's look at some quotes. By the way, what's your budget? What is your, if I can't qualify you for free health insurance and you got to pay for something, how much on a monthly basis are you willing to pay? Oh, I can afford $150. Okay, perfect. What are you looking for? Are you looking for health by itself, health, dental, and vision? What do you want? Oh, I'm looking for health, dental, and vision. Okay, perfect. Let's run some numbers. Bam, 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 bam. All those little things, they start to add up. Did I once talk about IULs? No. Let's talk about GULs. No. Let's talk about annuities. Nope. I want the relationship. I want to help them with their needs now. You know what I'll do after open enrollment ends? I'll go back to all of those clients, send them a thank you card. Guys, there's e-cards that you can subscribe to, where there's a company that'll actually mail out a card with handwriting signature as though it's you and you never touched an actual card. It costs like $4 a card. It's so cheap. Send them a card. Thank you for doing business with me. I really appreciate it. I'd like to connect with you this next month to go over some of the additional services that I happen to offer. And after open enrollment, once you've already made them a client, once they trust you a little bit, now go back and do a full fact finder. See if you find a credit repair opportunity, an annuity opportunity. Oh my God, you changed jobs. Or, oh my God, you lost your job because of COVID. You have an old 401k sitting around. I do. There's $40,000 in there. I just don't know what to do with it. Okay, let's run some numbers. But that's your second meeting. You've already got the client. You took advantage of open enrollment. I'm not exaggerating you when I tell you this next month and a half, if you work it the right way, just through simplified term sales, dental vision plans, hospital indemnity plans, just through those alone, you can make 15, 20 grand, 45 days. In these next 45 days, you can. And I never once talked about annuities, IULs, GULs, e-commerce, nothing big, just through that alone. But you got to make sure that you're talking to as many people as you can about the fact that you offer these services. Don't just sit there waiting for the phone to ring. Don't just sit there looking at your social media, what other people are posting. Make it so that people get tired of seeing your posts. I'm on your social media. I should be seeing your name 10, 15 times a day. And I promise you, I'll like it, I'll share it, I'll spread it out like crazy. But if you're not adding people to your social media and then advertising on a consistent basis, you're shooting yourself in the foot. If you're not getting a glass of wine tonight and putting a list together of everybody who's a friend or family or old coworker to let them know that you're offering free health insurance, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're shooting yourself in the foot. I haven't even talked about recruiting. So this is producer's heaven right here, guys. This is production heaven. Now imagine if you start thinking like a builder too, and along the way you find a couple of people that are like, oh, I'm unemployed, I haven't been working. You ever thought about the insurance industry? I have. Okay, cool. Listen, let's set up a meeting next week to talk because I'm busy right now selling these policies that are making $500-600 every single hour. 5 of them a week. 5 of them a week. $500, that's $2,500 a week. $2,500 a week. $2,500 a week. 4 weeks in a month, that's 10 grand. 6 weeks of open enrollment, 15 grand. Look how easy I just did. 5 sales a week. Look how easy I just said that. 5 sales a week, 5 sales a week, 5 sales a week, selling some basic, good quality policies. $500 in sales per client, 5 a week, that's $2,500 a week. 6 weeks for open enrollment, that's $15,000. My goodness, your children, your spouses, yourself, you're going to love your Christmas. You're going to love your Christmas. Selling basic stuff. Good quality stuff, but basic stuff nonetheless. 5 sales a week. Who wants to obsess over that number? Who thinks they can do 5 a week? It's not a hard number. It's not a hard number, guys. It's not. And in the independent world, nobody is going to parade you, applaud you. Oh my God, you're so amazing just because you made 6 figures. 6 figures in the independent world is like a given. It's a given. Like, hello, you're not making 6 figures selling insurance? Duh. It's that world. So unlearn a little bit about where you came from and realize this industry pays you hand over fist if you just do the right thing for clients and you focus your attention on always talking to somebody new every single day. 3-4 people a day. 3-4 people a day. 3-4 people a day. 3-4 people a day. 5 sales a week. Free health insurance. See if you qualify. Send me a DM. I got my marketing person. I'll close it off with this because I know I'm already over time. I apologize. I got my marketing person working on a digital flyer for everybody to use. A digital flyer that's a little bit more professionally used. But you know what's crazy? I don't even care. Like, copy and paste other people's stuff. Go to Google right now and type up, you know, Affordable Care Act, ACA, and see what digital images pop up. I don't care. I don't care if you got to take a freaking notebook like this with a Sharpie. I'll do it right now. I don't care. Like, if you got to go like this, watch, ready? Free health insurance. DM me. Take a picture of yourself, right? Click and post it. As corny as cheap as it is, I promise you, there's people looking at you like, what did that fool just do? Did he just take a freaking spiral notebook and write free health insurance? DM me, like, and then put his face on there, like, yes. Take a picture, post it, post it. Some of y'all go crazy thinking you have to act like you're this Fortune 500 company and be so professional with what you post. You spend 3 weeks to create this amazing post when you could have made $7 grand in that 3-week period just by doing something stupid as this. Get out there. Get out there. Get out there. Some of y'all are like, oh, should I have a personal page and a business page for social media? No, 1 page. 1 page. Oh, but I don't. Listen, if you're not leveraging social media as a business tool, you're shooting yourself in the foot. I promise you. Your clientele wants to see that you're human. Let them see your personal life. Let them see that you go out and play baseball with your son. Let them see that you let your daughter dress up as a cheerleader. Let them see that you went to the beach with your family. You don't got to feel like, oh my God, I can't sell my life until I'm a millionaire. Newsflash, some people don't want to be millionaires. Some people would just be very grateful if they lived your life. Because what you think is hard, what you think is like, oh my God, I can't believe that I'm driving a Civic. I can't believe that I'm driving a Nissan Altima. Your Nissan Altima, your Honda Civic, your old BMW, whatever you drive, your 1-bedroom apartment is somebody's heaven, is somebody's wish. But you know what you can sell? Never mind the articles. Sell happiness. Sell gratitude. People want to be around people that are grateful. People want to be around people that are happy. They want to be around that. And they don't mind seeing that in their social media. They don't mind seeing that. And there's so much negativity in social media. They don't mind seeing somebody that's just happy and excited about life. Something as small as I picked my kids up after school today and we picked up some ice cream. Here we are with ice cream. Right? By the way, and then another picture of you. Right? What's that? Health insurance for free. See if you qualify. People want that. People want that. I promise you, people want that. You do that 4 or 5 times a week, I promise you get 15 grand, 15 grand, 15 grand, 15. I just showed you the numbers. I didn't sell an exaggerated $15,000 in the next 6 weeks if you just make an intentional decision to advertise the fact that you're offering. And if you're not health licensed, and I'm talking to you right now, I just sold a life insurance policy within that health conversation that provided me with commissions. Commissions. You can't, I mean, there's nothing wrong with you telling the health guy, hey, listen, you write the health, I'll write the life. We'll split the life. Don't get me wrong. I'll close you with this. Rob Raw, Howard Rabinowitz, they're the best at this. They're the best at this. I might be better at them at talking in a group setting and training and whatever, right? But they're the best at this sales. Do me a favor, please. Respect their time. If you take them out to the field with you, be willing to split 50-50, the life side of it as well too. Because all you're looking for is the training, the how-to. I'm 17 years in this business and I still reached out to Howard and Rob and say, hey, Rob, am I right with that? If I'm wrong, bro, spot check me. I don't mind being wrong. I don't mind being wrong. Correct me if you're better at it. Any of you guys, if you know something that I'm wrong about something, feel free to, hey, Tony, listen, no disrespect. This, I think you're wrong. And here's why. Boom, boom. Cool, no problem. But be real, be human, be real. There's only one you. That's the specialist, best version of you there is. Be you. Be you. I know a little bit about every single one of you guys, but I want to see more of it. I want to see more of it. Honestly, I want to see more of it. What was it? Bailey asked a question here. What'd she ask? Hold on. She said, can you advertise if you can't write health but refer? Yes. The answer is yes. My firm is currently offering clientele with free health insurance. Send me a DM to see if you qualify. You didn't say you, my firm. And then you know what you do? Hey, Rob, hey, Howard, hey, Tony, actually don't call Tony because I'm busy as heck. I want to help every one of you guys out. I promise I do. But please, for health insurance, reach out to Rob and Howard. They're much better at it than I am. You saw me kind of stumbling during this training a little bit. They don't stumble. They're the best at it, right? Hey, can you help me in this meeting? This client's interested in health insurance. Yes, cool, no problem. Let's set up, let's get on a Zoom. By the way, I'm not health licensed, okay? So, if you help them out with health, great, right? Let's try to cross-sell and sell some life as well too, because I like to generate some income as well too. Cool, we'll split it 50-50. And I promise you, next year, you'll get your health license before you let open enrollment open up again. It's a weekend study program, by the way, y'all. Weekend, like 4 chapters, go. That easy. But if you're not, don't worry about it this season. Take advantage of the fact that everybody's talking about it right now like no other. Take advantage of it and be real. Be real and be real and be real and be real. You got to come up with a little gimmick of your own. You got to come up with a little slogan of your own that you post on social media. Again, post like crazy on social media, but do me a favor, keep adding new people to your social media. Oh my God, but I don't know who I'm adding. That's right. You don't know who you're adding. Because let's be real, your natural market's not going to make you a millionaire. So you have to start getting into new markets. You're either going to buy the new markets with leads or you're going to friend request the new market. Which one do you prefer? Oh, but what if there's weirdos? Listen, I'm not telling you to post your address. I'm not telling you to post your address. If you got issues posting your kids' pictures, then put your kids' pictures up with a smile, that little fake smiley face on their face, if that's who you are. But advertise. $1 million Fortune 500 companies don't care who's watching ABC, NBC, TV. They don't care who's watching. They just know that there's a lot of people watching. Somebody's going to call. It's the same thing, guys. That's what social media is. It's free marketing with the use of your phone. And there's so many stinking apps now. Guys, the stories alone, they let you do so much cool stuff. I've seen Jordan's stories. Jordan does some pretty cool stories. I'm like, I don't know how the hell she does this. He does voiceovers and this and that. Some of my own friends are doing them as well too. Guys, they're free. Advertise and keep adding new people. And look, I'm full disclosure, you're gonna get a couple weirdos. You're going to. There's nothing wrong with delete, block, move on. Delete, block. If you look at the list of people that are blocked on my Facebook, it's like 37 pages long. Just weirdos, male and females. It's okay. Delete, block, move on. Delete, block, move on. But there's not a single weirdo on the planet that's going to get me to stop my social media marketing because it generates way too much income for my family. Way too much income for my family. So for those of you that have iPhones, right, and you go all the way to the right and you look at, how many hours you spent on your phone apps, right? If you're looking at it and you're like, man, I spent like 6 hours on social media and you're not trying to generate income during that 6 hour period, shame on you. Shame on you for telling your family that you're here fighting for an entrepreneurial opportunity. You're fighting to make big bucks. You're fighting to become financially free. You're fighting to get that car, that house, that trip that you've always wanted to do. But yet you're not trying to generate income for 6 hours of your life because you prefer to watch other people live theirs. Sorry, but I'm not sorry because that's the truth. If you're not using it as a business tool, you're losing out, period. And I just showed you one of the easiest ways to do it today. Easiest ways to do it today. If any of you are interested in setting up your own Health Sherpa account and you haven't yet, go to the TKO website, go down to TKO Health Insurance, the contracting link. You'll see the steps there. One of the steps right there is setting up a Health Sherpa account. And I'll close it with this: to sell Affordable Care Act health insurance, you need to do a certification course, which I believe is step 2 in my contracting. That course could take 3 to 4 hours. But this is a big but. To sell short-term medical plans, which is health insurance, just like you saw, for people that don't qualify for Affordable Care Act, to sell dental and vision plans, to sell that hospital indemnity, all 3 of those, you don't need that certification, which means you can go to the health contracting right now. And the very first paragraph, I tell you which of the 8 steps you need to do in order to start selling at least those within the next 2 days. Just do it. Just do it. The instructions are right there. It's so easy. I mean, literally, you submit paperwork, you're contracted by like the next day. It doesn't take long, but do it. And I promise you, some of you, you're going to say, man, these last 6 weeks, I can't believe it. I made 15 grand. Right? And that gets you through the rest of the year. That gets you the good holidays. And maybe what it really does is it boosts up your self-esteem to look at yourself in the mirror and go, holy crap, I can do this. Now let me go recruit 50 people because I can show them my paycheck, not my upline's paycheck. There's nothing better than edification of your own income. Facts. Anyways, have a good one, guys. Be blessed. Hopefully this was beneficial. Let me hear your top 2 biggest takeaways on the Voxer. I'm going to stay on for another minute or so for anybody that has any questions, but you guys are free to go. I apologize for taking a little bit longer, but during open enrollment, like we are right now, I might do a little bit longer training because I really want you guys out there taking advantage of this. There's people that are killing it right now. There's no reason you guys couldn't be either. No reason at all. Have a good one. Bye-bye. I'll stay on for a minute.